Welcome back. Well, yes, Bernie Ebbers is guilty, but not all CEOs are crooks, and not all companies lack integrity. So says my next guest, whose book and later accompanying production, Dreammakers, chronicles very powerful people who do make a powerful difference by not acting like jerks. With us now is MIchele Hunt, no jerk herself. She's the author of Dreammakers and founder of Vision and Values. MIchele, good to see you.
Thank you.
Your timing was impeccable, young lady. We were just talking about the Bernie Ebbers stuff and the mess that WorldCom was. And there's a raging debate in the newsroom. Is that typical of the corporate community, or is the kind of decent, integritous environment you talk about?
I can't speak to what's typical. I know what's possible. And I've been fortunate enough to work with CEOs, first Max Dupree with Herman Miller, and currently with Richard Carrion of Popular, Banco Popular, who lead their companies with vision and values. And they align everything around a compelling vision, and that's born out of what matters to them most, and they try very hard to make money by doing good.
Yeah, but some people see a disconnect there, that better to invest in the CEO as a slave driver and a jerk, but generates high returns, than the guy who's kind and decent, but generates lower returns.
I've always been frustrated by this, because it's always either people or profit. And I think the CEOs that really want to be successful over a sustainable period of time, it is profits through people and through good work, good goods. And if you look at Banco Popular, 111 years of leading with vision and values. 111 years. The last 25 years, the financial performance, both top and bottom line, are remarkable.
Yeah, but to be fair, MIchele, you also profiled David Cole, the former head of the Internet division at AOL.
Right.
And that was at the time when AOL, it could do no wrong.
It could do no wrong.
The company fell on bad times, and he had since left. But the fact of the matter was that all the kind, decent, wonderful behavior in the world can't get away from companies that don't see the light. You know, and I'm wondering whether, as investors, or whether someone who looks at the investment community or the corporate community, that we can get burnt by sometimes a decent guy, but ultimately a poor manager.
I actually think that if, in fact, they are leading with vision and values, and then they're aligning their actions and decisions, and tough decisions, but good decisions around what they're trying to do, and that being born out of some sound values that they're faithful to, that is very possible for long-term sustainable profitability. I was on the top management team of Herman Miller for 8 years. I was with the company for 13 under Max Dupree, so I experienced that longevity.
So these guys are more typical to you than we give them credit for.
Remember now, my business is called Vision and Values, and I ask for self-selection. Don't come to me if you're not going to really be rooted in vision and values. What I want to help people understand is this is a better, more meaningful, and ultimately more profitable way of running an organization.
So something we didn't see presumably at WorldCom, right?
Well, presumably not.
And we didn't see it at Enron.
That's right.
We didn't see it at Tyco.
That's right.
Can you understand that when people look and hear these very prominent cases, they come to the conclusion, that's the problem, and I don't want to invest in the problem, and they have an investment strike.
Right, and I appreciate that. I'm advocating that CEOs and community leaders and people understand that there's a better way to do it. It is the exception, I do believe today, except for people that don't hit the news. I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful CEOs doing a lot of wonderful things, but they don't hit the news.
Well, how do you personally deal with difficult employees or employees who aren't doing what you're saying? You have to can them, right?
Well, sure you do. Sure you do. I mean, and you can let people go with dignity and grace. You can let people go in line with your values.
But if you have a loser who's just not getting it done, and MIchele is taking advantage of your kindness and your ethics and this idea of lifting people by values, they can take advantage of it, right?
Oh, listen, my philosophy is not.
You're not a softy.
No,
you're not a softy.
No, it's a very tough way to lead an organization. A very tough way. You have to be so true to the business goals as well as the vision and the values.
But
and
some
yet,
of these guys, MIchele, at these big companies, were inherently nice folks. Maybe they just veered down a wrong path.
Yeah, but I think if you're not integrating your values throughout your whole organization, in every decision, and everyone understands that these are the values of the organization and they're not negotiable, then then you're going to be driven to make the decisions that are aligned with that.
All right. Michele Hunt, Dreammakers is the book, the production. She's the ethical force behind it. You can be good, see? Oh, pity the all-powerful CEO. He is a dying breed. I'll explain that after this.